ma be jambi anim banku dingol be anim media be jambi kana anim ministre si kacha mbokk di leen dalal si suñu Mansa Kunda bi Mansa Kunda nag nuñ ko dewa Ministry of Information moo ko jagleel askan bi si ndiglaay président Adama Barrow daf ñu wane bu ko réeroo am diggante askan bi ak nguur gi ba loo xam ne askan baa ngi koo joytu seen xalaat seen pas-pas ak seen mbébét nguur gi war na ko mun a yëg waaye tamit lépp loo xam ne nguur baa ngi ko liggéey pour askan bi seen iine ak seen liggéey ak seeni pexe bëgg na askan bi yëg ko moo tax ñu jagleel askan bi Mansa Kunda bi yi nga xam ne semaine bu nekka wala ñaari semaine bu nekka ñu si benn ki nga benn jawrin mu ñu toog jàkkaarloog askan bi ñu waxtaan ñu wax askan bi naka la ñoo doxalee seeni jawrin bi waaye tamit askan bi laaj leen li nga xam ne moom la ñoo doxalee seeni jawrin kon di leen dalal yéen ñëpp ñi fi nekk tey teew fii si hall bi ak ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi ñoo seetaan kër fii biir Gambie ak bitim réew di dalal nag ki nga xam ne mooy ministre Mor K Ceesay ki nga xam ne moo jiitu jawrin bi nga xam ne moom lañ dénka wàllu jënd ak jaay wàllu industrie mooy defar ay bagages manufacturing ak wàllu jokkalante fii si Afrique saw jant ak mi nga xam ne wàllu xëy moom tam moo ko amee mu nekk mu ne jawrin bu yaatu nag mu ëmbali yëpp kon jawrin bu am solo la te nag askan bi war nañoo mën a xam mbiri jëndaan jaay naka la moo def mbiri bagage ñu bari ngi wane bagage cher na waaye ñun buñ seetee gis ne cher na waaye wàññeeku na tamit parce que soo seetee saaku maalo wàññee ak léegi wàññeeku na ñëpp xam nañ loolu mooy soble mooy pompiteer mooy diwlin yëpp stabilise na te na mën a leeral loolu noonu tey waaye tamit si wàllu xëy lan la nekk di def yan pexe la am pour ndaw yi mën a am xëy parce que ñëpp xam nañ ne tey téeméer gamen boo dajeel juróom-ñaari fukk yëpp ndaw lañ kon tey dinañu waxtaan ak askan bi Mor K Ceesay ñu ngi laa dalal yaa sa àndandoo ñi nga xam ne sa liggéeyandoo ñi nga xam ne ñoom ñoo jiite sa agency si tey di la wax ne welcome to the Mansa Kunda xam nañ ne tey moom lu bari im fa tey leerutoon tey dina leer moo njëriñu Mansa Kunda bi. Before we invite Honorable Mor K Ceesay to the podium, we have two important documentaries to play. One, achievements in this sector, and the second one is a specific project to promote trade in the Senegambia corridor. We'll play those two videos. After that, we will get Mor K Ceesay to come to the podium and then introduce his team. Then we'll take questions from the public. On that note, I thank you all, and I wish you all a fruitful evening. Thank you.
Trade is a critical pillar of the Gambia's economy. From big markets to emerging industries, thousands of Gambians their livelihoods. In the Low River region, the modernization of the Willingaraba Lumo is creating a more conducive environment for trade.
Luma comme 70% es lu ñu dé jappalé moy di nga gis baykat ni bari yang fa ci luma bi la gay mëna yobbu sen bagage yi ñun ta suñu joggé dajé gay ci luma dafa easy ñu dem suru luma mo nekk suñu centre bi dal lu ñërëm bu gaay moy business street bi ko dé easy parce que dafa fekk comme ça su manqué am fi Sénégal da nga ko dé mëna indi su manqué Sénégal tamit Gambie da nga ko dé mëna indi daf dé nekk suñu media la dal suñu digal ci digënté bi la nekk Monday, alhamdulillah, jappalé nam.
New market sheds, pavement and solar-powered borehole are already supporting local economic activity with additional improvements planned to further enhance the facility.
Luma wax dëgg Yàlla dafa salté woon amuñu ñu na mbaam yi ak fas yi ak nag yi ñoo doon jànkatoo ci biir da ngay xëy si war a lal nga fekk sa place ñu ko dem douche xam nga loolu itam doxul il faut nga bale raxas te loolu tam da ngay génn dem rooti waaye sant mbaari sant Yàlla
am nañ ndox ñu ngi kontaan ba dañuy root ci robinet yi naan dañuy root ragal suñ bagage yi dañuy jàpp foofu bëgg moom la ñuy def ci ñu ngi sant Yàlla bu baax ci affaire ndox bi ñu ngi sant Yàlla bu baax wax dëgg Yàlla kii kër bu sell bi tamit léegi ñu ngi ci sant yàlla bu baax wax dëgg yàlla am nañ ci mbette torop nag torop biñ defaree léegi suñu njaay mi dafa gën a yokku waaw ñu ngi si am jàmm bu baax ñu ngay jaay bu baax wax dëgg yàlla waaw ñu ngi jaay bu baax.
Looking ahead, the government is planning a transformative project, the Trans-Gambia Corridor Special Economic Zone, strategically located along a major regional transport corridor. The zone is designed to become a logistic hub and manufacturing center that attracts investment and stimulates job creation.
The Special Economic Zone serves as an anchor project. We want to do this low-tech manufacturing in this place, and we also have agro-processing, soil and oil processing. So basically it have different compartments of manufacturing. Those are the type of investment as well as logistics. We also want to have these logistics hubs. So want to have issues like data center, renewable energy. So these are all forms of investments that are also planned and compartmentalized in the special economic zone. In a nutshell, there will be a lot of jobs, directly and indirect jobs. 96 to 100,000, but I'm sure it can go way beyond that.
Ensuring fair markets is equally important. The Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission is strengthening regulations to prevent unfair practices and protect consumers. Recent initiatives include actions against excessive production of essential health products and efforts to ensure seamless integration between mobile wallets, allowing consumers to transfer funds across platforms easily.
Among competition consumer protection authorities within the region, we are one of the few ones that do day-to-day thorough market surveillance, in the sense that periodically or bi-weekly we actually go to the marketplaces, interview businesses, consumers. This helps us to detect issues prior to them happening. Instead of being reactive, we have been more proactive. Reasonably, I think we've been trying a lot, especially if you look at the prices in the Gambia and compare it within the sub-region. You can see it's still relatively cheaper in the Gambia because of some of the proactive measures we are taking as a commission to ensure that at least consumers get a fair deal. Because the way this thing works is, once you ensure there is fair competition in the market, the prices take care of themselves. This wave coming at least 3 to 5 years ago. We did a banking study at that time, and one of the things we observed is these things are coming. Countries like Kenya, a decade ago, they were a norm. So we saw that gradually it's going to come. So since then, we've been advocating to ensure that when these things come, that their services and the platforms are interoperable. We thank God and we thank the Central Bank of the Gambia and GamSwitch, which are now for it to be interoperable. That means, for instance, a bank app and a digital can be interconnected in such a way that consumers will not have to withdraw from the bank and go and deposit at the wallet, or withdraw from the wallet and go and queue at banks to deposit. It saves a lot of time and also helps a lot when it comes to having a cashless economy.
From strengthening standards and supporting entrepreneurs to expanding regional trade and protecting consumers, these initiatives are shaping a more resilient, competitive economy as the Gambia continues to integrate into regional and global markets. Investment in trade and human capital are creating new opportunities for businesses and communities across the country. Because when trade grows, the nation grows with. Trade is a critical pillar of the Gambia's economy. From big markets to emerging industries, thousands of Gambians depend on commerce for their livelihoods. Across the country, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment is implementing initiatives designed to strengthen the economy, support entrepreneurs, and expand the Gambia's participation in regional and global markets. These efforts are part of a broader national vision for economic transformation. The government is working to ensure that trade becomes a powerful drive of national development. In this framework, the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment plays a central role in translating national policy into concrete programs that empower businesses and create jobs.
The portfolio under the ministry covers 4 areas: industrial development, regional integration, and also employment creation. The national development plan enhances all of that in the broader objective of creation. Trade creates employment, but industrial development also creates employment. All of this put together is a very neat process of changing related economic activities to form a portfolio, all with the objective of making sure that jobs are created for Gambians and income also provided for Gambians.
The plan recognizes that sustainable growth depends on strengthening institutions, improving the business environment, and creating opportunities across the country.
The modern business, why showcase be more deson, comme marketing be more deson. Why showcase GCC, jël nañ suma business yóbbu ko international parce que amul fii rek fu ñu tukki di am rek dañ ma di yóbbu te loolu GCC Ministry of Trade ñoom collab ba ñun ñu mun a am sañ-sañi dem.
Our mission is to empower women-owned, women-led businesses. We show them the benefits of being fully formalized so that when government advertise any opportunity, you'll be in a position to win contracts. Our biggest achievement there is the knowledge that these women gain going out, because when they go, they see a different scenario from the Gambia. They learn from their peers, and some of the time they also have new networks that they can work on.
We have been called to so many trade fairs, be it both international and local. We wish to bring back what we have learned and also see how we can incorporate it so that we can be stronger and better.
Businesses to compete locally and internationally, quality matters. The Gambia Standards Bureau is leading efforts to develop standards that ensure the safety, reliability, and competitiveness of Gambian products. More than 400 national standards have been developed to guide production, packaging, labeling, and safety requirements across export sectors. Through the National Metrology Laboratory, the Gambia's measurement system is now linked to international systems, ensuring accuracy in trade and certification. The National Quality Center is also expanding testing services to ensure imported and locally produced goods meet safety requirements.
Process, and that process within the conformity assessment, you inspect independently with its requirements, appropriate requirements. You test, of course, because you have to. If you do not test, there is no way you can demonstrate conformity, and then you certify. Certify is the proof, either by a mark or a certificate that this product meets the requirements. I can say with a great deal of satisfaction and a great deal of humbleness that now we have a certification body that has been internationally recognized to certify products to ensure their quality and safety.
Certification and quality assurance are helping local industries reach new markets. One milestone achievement is the certification of the country's first national company under the National Certification Body.
We are the first Gambian company to be HACCP certified. That's the Hazards Analysis Control. So we have our certification, and that was our goals. We want to create more employment. As of right now, we have 70 employees, and 95% of that is women and youth. We're looking to expand to 350 employees, get to the full capacity of the processing facility, and also have the Made in Gambia cash flow all over the world.
We train exporters in terms of what we call export readiness programs. This enables them to try to meet the requirements, because we have to understand each country. Each trading bloc has their own requirements, particularly relating to health and hygiene. And this is where we launch training programs with potential exporters to ensure that they meet the requirements of those countries so that they can enhance their export capabilities and drive their volumes.
Beyond strengthening trade institutions, the ministry is also investing in people. Through the ECOWAS Spain Integration and Development Fund, programs are helping young Gambians gain skills, find employment, and build sustainable livelihoods. The initiative aims to reduce poverty and limit the negative impacts of irrigation by creating opportunities at home.
The ECOWAS has come to support the government of the Gambia to provide employment opportunities, but through that to also ensure skill training for young people, be it entrepreneurship or TVET. These are the training that provide them opportunities for labor market entry, and then to also provide counseling, just so that at least we'll be able to impact on their mindset regarding irregular pathways. The government has also chosen a program called the Bilateral Labor Agreement. This to ensure that at least we engage countries of destination where our young people are going, to facilitate the movement of young people. This is just so that at least the agitation that is on the increase in terms of people moving out of this country, we try to bring it down, and then either you focus on national development, taking part in the labor market here, or even whereas you have to go, you go with a skill, then you do not become a liability to those destinations.
Akaba ku comme Adam Barrow ning Spain Prime Minister kabe ñu ko cha akuna la fiti na samana dol fa na bula ko fomo asuro na document on ñininka ngol fanan bi ngol soto ngol summit Labor Department under Minister of Trade after inara process on ñinke pour kata Spain no ko ya yentari no ko ben sambala pour kata do ko sama do ko le yo ban ton na da ngata bari mbi yirdin katon tara tara do kering anin ka yirbulo tala o yemma ko dunya karaw ka ni nga jembal na ko nane ñenkele sa ta bul bata bate.
The Gambia is also positioning itself to benefit from Africa's largest bloc, the African Continental Free Trade Area. Through the national AFCFTA implementation strategy, the government and private sector stakeholders are working together to expand trade opportunities across the continent.
The Africa Continental Free Trade Area, known as AFTA, simply means one market for Africa, such that you'll be able to have a and competitive environment. In that way, it doesn't matter where you would locate businesses or where you would industries. You can locate Gambia and compete fairly with industries in Senegal or elsewhere on the continent. The primary objective really is to have a level playing field for industries and businesses that are located in the continent to enhance integration in Africa and access to essential goods that is required by the continent, but also position our local businesses and local cities in Africa to be able to compete fairly with their contemporaries outside the country.
Improving infrastructure is another priority.
Adoko sila asone atale kantu wotumo nka doko kenum bantale nka nye samba kono nka doko je sila nata fo ye nyimbungo lo nyeja fo nata project jama kono ala ten.
We know that the sector has done so many things, and most of it could not fit in this 15-minute video. However, as one very important project that the Gambia government is embarking on, is planning to embark on, it is called the Trans-Gambia Corridor, Trade Infrastructure, and a Special Economic Zone. The purpose of this project is to promote trade and investment, but also boost industrial production, which in turn obviously will provide jobs Jobs will help the economy grow. When the economy grows, you invest these things in people. When you invest in your people, they live in dignity, and your country develops. The next video will now give us a hint of what that project is. Thank you.
Of Africa is situated along the Atlantic coast with an economy primarily based on agriculture and tourism, with a diverse ecosystem surrounding the Gambia River. The Green Reef Focus National emphasize the need of
Amira nibe do ko la bunkon ibe jio jonkila ji si wulta ise toto fo imale se kenyami bar nyindo le kipni le kenyeje nka do ko keno freely mol ka tara simbungo kam ay mako e jata kende ato ay mako e wafero fana na karol kunda ngi jay ngi tentu aw ni ajen tolbe projet ko soto la mol le soto Mansa Kunda min ben jibe kan ko ni mammo soto min ben jibe to nya ngami soto ntasola.
In the lower river region, the modernization of the Willingaraba Lumo market is creating a more conducive environment for traders.
Njari luma comme 70% luma es lu ñu dé jappalé moy di nga gis baykat yu bari yang fa ci luma bi la gay mëna yobbu sen bagage yi ñun ta suñu joggé fu ñu dem ñu dajé gay ci luma bi dafa easy ñom soru gay ñu dem soru suñu ñu senta bi dal lu ñëram bu gay am moy bi dal dafa easy dafa fekk comme bagage su manké Gambie fi Sénégal da nga ko dé mëna indi su manké Sénégal tamé Gambie da nga ko dé indi daf dé nek suñu comme suñu mi yalla dal suñu digal ci digënté bi
National Economic Zone site is strategically in Soma along the Gambia corridor on either side at 1.5 kilometers from the Misira border post to leverage the existing social and commercial infrastructure. Parcel A comprises the agriculture and other manufacturing zones, featuring seamless compatibility and shared infrastructure, while Parcel B includes the social, commercial, community, training and capacity building zones with provisions for future development. The prioritized value chains and sectors for processing in the Trans-Gambia Corridor Special Economic Zone aligns well with the strategies, policies and development plans of the Gambia's government and relevant line ministries, apart from consideration for import substitution and export enhancing activities. The prioritized sector for processing includes light engineering and construction material processing zone, cereals, pulses and oil seeds, fruits, vegetables and tubers processing zone, agroforestry and other agro products processing zone, livestock processing zone, general manufacturing zone, including apparel, automotive, chemical and pharma and others, fisheries processing zone, dairy products processing zone, specialized infrastructure, agricultural transformation center, utility zone, non-processing zones. The zones within the special economic zone have been meticulously configured to leverage the Gambia's opportunities and core strengths. Inclusiveness is ensured with provisions for accommodating micro, mini, small, women entrepreneurs, first-generation promoters, medium enterprises, large-scale manufacturing industries along with its ancillary, byproduct manufacturing, value-added processing units. Various options ensured with plotted developments, one-time long lease or monthly rentals or ready-built, plug-and-play facilities and multi-tenanted buildings or PEBs, based on individual sector potential and preferences. The master plan offers a flexible and modular approach, adapting to the site's topography while ensuring ease of implementation, minimal environmental impact, and cost optimization during both the implementation and operational phases. The detailed components of the master plan are water treatment plant, overhead tank, logistics zone, truck maintenance depot and fuel station, light engineering and construction material processing zone, cereals, pulses and oil seeds processing zone. Specialized infrastructure. Fruits, vegetable and tubers processing zone. Agroforestry and other agro-products processing zone. Dairy products processing zone. General manufacturing zone and other industries zone. Livestock processing zone. Sewage treatment plant, solid waste management / summer storage tank. Agricultural Transformation Center. Substation. Residential zone. Social and public amenities zone. Demo farms, training, research and development zone. Future expansion zone. Collection and pre-processing centers, fish aggregation centers are located at locations to collect the produced commodities from the rural catchment areas, ensuring sustained supply of raw materials to the special economic zone in terms of quality and quantity. A GIS-based spatial development master plan for the primary influence zone of TGC is prepared, highlighting the proposed components and projects envisioned for development within the 50 by 26 kilometre stretch. The Spatial Development Master Plan considers the existing context, land suitability, connectivity, and environmentally sensitive areas. The plan is phased with an initial focus on economic development through the TGC SEZ as the anchor project, followed by social, commercial, and community development, and later the creation of tourism and eco-recreational zones alongside enabling infrastructure with an emphasis on sustainable transportation solutions, including the proposal for a second airport in the Gambia. The project aims to offer a progressive business environment with diverse, investor-friendly opportunities. Once the comprehensive Trans-Gambia Corridor Development Plan is put into action, it is anticipated to generate $606 million in annual transactions and create approximately 100,000 direct and indirect employment opportunities. Under the able leadership of the President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, and Minister of Trade and Industry Honorable Babukar Ould-Diouf, the government of the Gambia is poised to implement this Trans-Gambia Corridor Development Project, aiming to drive industrialization, economic transformation, enhancing food security, thereby creating job opportunities, empowering women and youth, marking a revolutionary step in the Gambia's growth journey. Come and join in this journey.
Driving isn't just imagined, it is created right before your eyes. Stop driving. Welcome to Asada Motors. Experience the future of driving with the cutting-edge electric technology and unmatched elegance of J-Tour. Conquer any terrain with the legendary reliability of Toyota, the absolute luxury of the new Land Cruiser VX, and the bold spirit of the Land Cruiser product. Down to the raw power of our pickups, built to tackle any challenge. Whatever your lifestyle, next destination starts with us. Visit us at GNPC Petrol Station, Fajura, or contact us at 200-0004 or 782-838-55. Asada Motors. Experience the excellence.
In today's world, speed matters, but slow internet can hold you back. Now, the future of connectivity has arrived in the Gambia. QCell's Q-Fiber, ultra-fast, ultra-reliable internet designed for the way you live. Stream your favorite shows without buffering. Power your business with seamless video calls. Study, work, and play online like never before. From homes to businesses, QCell Fiber is connecting the Gambia to the future. QCell's Q-Fiber. Get connected today. Call 145 or 300-3779. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
Bell Bottling Company, sharing happiness, made in the...
Thank you very much, technical team. Government, they say, is a continuity. Therefore, even though it was Honorable Babukar Joof, as former Minister of Trade, who started this project, perhaps it will be Honorable Minister Ceesay who will finally launch the project. Now, with this project that we just saw, if it comes into fruition, it will not only transform trade in the Gambia, but also across the entire sub-region. Honorable Minister, maybe your first intervention will be to tell us exactly what is the state of this project and when will His Excellency, President Adama Barrow, go and cut the ribbon for this very magnificent infrastructural artifact. Now, the floor is yours. My job is done. More than Guinea, Yanangini.
Ismaila jërëjëf, and I think you're absolutely right. Project bi rek dafa doy si second mandate of His Excellency the President. And when I said the second mandate, I'm not counting the first mandate because we were struggling. First and second mandate, and I think this project, which is over between $625 to $1 billion investment program, will be central in the next mandate of His Excellency the President, and I'll tell you why. But before doing that also, I want to appreciate and thank our main sponsors, QCell, Asata, as well as Bell Bottling Company for sponsoring this this program. And on behalf of the organizers, my colleague, I'd want to appreciate and thank them profoundly. But before I also go any further, I want to make key recognition, and that is, I would want to start with the our business partners, or the partner business community here represented. All of them. Please give them a round of applause. It's because of them that we are here, and it's because of them that we roll our sleeves and go to work every day. Because we know they are our true partners. If they succeed, we succeed. So I will have an sector here. Line heads such as Papa Seka, DG Basurinjai, CEO Usainu Senghor of Gaipa, Commissioner of Labor Nyalo Barrow, senior staff of the ministries here present, of course, DPS, Admin and Finance, Mariama Fofana also is present, senior officials of government, students,
friends and brothers, the diplomatic communities, I can see the Chinese embassy staff, investment, industry and employment. Investment, industry and employment. Positioning trade is an engine of growth. It is an engine of growth and decisions. Since has undertaken and accelerated a number of strategic reforms aimed at transforming the Gambia into a more competitive, industrialized and investment-driven economy. Build a better business environment to strengthen our industries, to promote what we produce at home, attract quality investment, create decent jobs for our people, and ensure that Gambian businesses benefit fully from global trade and the Gambia a hub for investment. Allow me to take you through what we have achieved in the last 8 months of office. Under this directorate, the ministry continue to monitor the stock and prices of essential commodities as per Essential Commodities 2015. As you are aware, global supply disruption continue to threaten international trade and market. To cushion the effect of domestic prices, government through my ministry, that's the Department of Trade, has taken a number of measures aimed at cushioning prices. Government continue to facilitate priority berthing for vessels at the port of Banjul, now renamed as Port Banjul, carrying essential goods. We have also strengthened our collaboration with trading partners, home and abroad, to assess supply of essential commodities at competitive prices globally, invoking special trading protocols. Recently, government has signed an MOU with the government of Pakistan to ensure our businesses seek source rice from Pakistan at competitive prices, while also inducing commercial investment from Pakistan to the Gambia. The government have also strengthened trade cooperation with our neighboring countries as part of efforts to create opportunities to expand trade for the Gambia. We signed trade and transit cooperation agreements with Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, the Republic of Guinea. Gambian businesses can take advantage of these opportunities under these bilateral agreements, in addition to the regional opportunities such as the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme. Our friendship with the People's Republic of China continues to bear fruit. On the China duty-free, quota-free scheme, covering 98% of tariff lines, we signed protocol on groundnut and cashew export last year, and 16 Gambian companies are now registered to export to China market. After Africa Free Trade Area is now operational and Gambia businesses can take advantage of the larger continental market. Under the scheme, the Gambia's provisional tariff concession have been gazetted. We have also submitted all required documents for trade in goods to AFTA Secretariat, and GRA has created the custom processing code for the smooth implementation of the agreement. Under the Sea Trade Gambia Hub program, the ministry is supporting 181 women-owned businesses with training, market access, digital skill, including vocational training, extended to 35 female inmates at Mile 2 prison, giving them a path to rehabilitation, dignity, and livelihood beyond the prison wall. On the multilateral stage, I am pleased to report that the Gambia successfully completed its 4th trade policy review at the World Trade Organization in Geneva this February, under my leadership in fulfillment of an important statutory requirement of member states under the multilateral trading system to enhance transparency and well-functioning, predictable global trade and a national trade environment that better attract foreign direct investment. Employment and Labor Administration. We are implementing the bilateral labor agreement with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, where over 120 Gambian domestic workers have been deployed since 2025. 29 workers, however, have returned home, mainly for health-related reason claim. As a result, we are strengthening pre-departure preparation, health screening, and welfare monitoring so that every Gambian who travel for work abroad does so and return home safely. Similarly, under the circular migration scheme with the Kingdom of Spain, we continue to engage our Spanish partners directly, and I am pleased to report that Spain has reaffirmed its commitment to the program. The 6 returnees from the first batch have been given 1-year visas and left to Spain 2 weeks ago. The second batch of 50 workers are now being processed and awaiting clearance to leave. The 2026 first quarter labor force survey showed promising results. The labor force participation rate increased from 43.6% to 54.5%. The employment to population ratio increased from 40.3% to 51.1%. Unemployment also decreased from 7.6% to 6.2%. Industry investment and SMEs. With regard to the industry investment, in the Gambia, MSMEs continue to form the backbone of our economy. The government is in the final stage of the launching of the digital single window business registration system in collaboration with UNTAD and the Ministry of Justice. The reactivation of the system will make it far easier to start a business in this country. It will encourage finalization. It will encourage finalization in the economy, as well as facilitate business registration for MSMEs outside the Greater Banjul area. With a feasibility study confirming an impressive 23% internal rate of return, we are working hand in hand with the African Development Bank to mobilize financing. Land valuation and compensation assessment for affected landowners is completed and programmed in the budget 2027. Momentum is building fast, and a project implementation unit has been established and housed at GAIPA to drive this initiative forward. We have secured commitment from the African Development Bank to operationalize the PIU and bring on board critical technical expertise, including transaction advisors, to assist in the zone private developer identification and selection. The World Bank has stepped up as well, committing to support the drafting of the legislation needed to bring this project to life, and talks with the Green Climate Fund are ongoing rapidly to back climate-smart, resilient infrastructure investment attraction in the economic business zone. The initial response has been electric. We are seeing genuine wave of interest from both local and foreign investors, eager to be part of this landmark development as shown in the television. Right now, the PIU is hard at work laying the foundation for executive buildings, out annual work plans, and finalizing terms of reference for the developer and transaction advisor through robust public-private partnership framework. This is more than a project. It's a statement of intent by His Excellency the President. The Trans-Gambia Corridor is on its way to becoming a flagship model for regional integration and economic transformation for the Gambia. May we all live to witness. Say amen, please. The ministry has validated our national industry and diversification strategy and developed Made in the Gambia strategy, champion locally produced goods and innovations. Currently, government has made progress in promoting private sector investment in local industries, particularly in manufacturing and agro-processing. Government measures in the cement industries, agriculture and agro-processing are helping to stabilize supply and prices. In partnership with the UNIDO, the ministry have completed the establishment of food and light testing laboratories and launched 2 new projects, including cold chain initiative that will reduce post-harvest losses for our rural farmers. A video will show progress shortly, which we have just actually watched. The Gambia draw full benefit from its membership of ECOWAS. We have developed jointly with the Ministries of Health, Higher Education, a National Human Capital Development Strategy for 2024 to 2030, now being implemented. The ministry constructed Lumo border market in Wellingaraba, Bureng, and handed it over to the village committees on 17th of June this year. The newly constructed Lumo market provides the community with the sanitation, hygiene, security, and good environment conducive for trade facilitation, just where we have been shown on television just now. Under the ECOWAS Fistula program, MOTA is working with the Ministry of Health, Gender, Children and Social Welfare for the refurbishment of Fistula ward at Bansang Hospital, which is near completion. We salute the great work done by the FAB Foundation in Bansang Hospital. May the Lord reward the First Lady for this particular work. The ministry, in partnership with the Gambia Red Cross Society, support financing and delivery of round 2 of cash transfer in 2025 to flood victims, internally displaced persons, refugees, and install solar-powered boreholes in Demban, Sibanor, and Jikes. The Gambia Standard Bureau. The Standard Bureau now developed close to 500 national standards with third of them focus on food and agriculture. Over 700 personnel from our MSMEs and 300 technical experts have been trained, and we now have 20 internationally certified lead auditors who are Gambian, and we no longer need to rely on foreign consultants. The Legal Metrology Act 2025 has replaced a law that stood since 1977, and this past groundnut season alone, over 200 cycle schemes were verified and 11 way bridges calibrated to protect fairness of trade for our farmers. In December 2025, we accredited the Gambia First National Certification Body, opening doors to international markets that were previously closed to Gambia. Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection Commission. On competition and consumer protection issues, the Commission has been equally active. The Commission is amending its Competition Act 2007 and the Consumer Protection Act 2014 and developing a new merger control regulation. The Commission has worked on market studies on our foreign exchange market, cement market, and consumer behavior, and acted decisively, addressing excessive pricing in the onion market, and we are now investigating the mayonnaise market. Between January and March this year alone, Commission resolved $846,850 of consumer complaints, more than half through swift alternative dispute resolution. To reverse, calculated effort by unilateral over 350 enterprises in rice, poultry, maize, cashew, horticulture into a national geodatabase that will unlock financing and market access. The agency institutional reform continued through building resilience for inclusive development and growth for enterprises, with key focus on institutional policies, capacity building, and ICT support, including one-stop digital investment platform. I am also pleased to confirm that the review of the GAIPA Act 2015 is now completed, with a sustainable funding mechanism already gazetted to secure the agency future with a view with an industrial and economic zone, and implementing the land for investment program and advancing strategic. Other efforts are being made to locate land for industrial, strengthen collaboration with national institutions, sensitize businesses in key industrial sites on new investment and export promotion fees regulation 2026. And I read this having in mind what we just seen along the Banjul-Serekunda highway on the right. Closing, what I have said with you today is the Ministry of Work, is a ministry at work across trade, industry, employment, regional integration, and standard and consumer protection, all pulling in one direction: a more competitive, more industrialized, and more inclusive Gambian economy. I can assure you that this ministry and every directorate and agency under it remain focused, accountable, and committed to the people of this country. I thank you for your kind attention.
It's still your turn. I just want to say now it's time for Q&A. Ask your questions in any language of your choice. If you ask in a language, she's bound to answer in that language. And keep your questions short. We'll take 3 from this end, and he'll respond to those 3 from this end until we exhaust all the questions. Thank you.
Hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Isa Tukote from Jara News Media. So, Honorable Minister, my question is, your ministry has reportedly emphasized job creation as a national priority. Can you highlight the major employment opportunity your ministry has created over the past years, and what new initiatives have been introduced to ensure more Gambian youths and women secure decent and sustainable jobs? My other question is, many Gambians are concerned about the rising cost of living and the challenges facing local businesses. What concrete measures is your ministry taking to promote local industries, attract investment, strengthen regional trade, and ultimately reduce the cost of essential goods for ordinary Gambians? Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself? Name, please.
Okay, good evening to you all. Honorable Minister, I'm from LRR, Jara East District. I want to say thank you for bringing that development to our district. We are really grateful for that. Okay, my questions. Like, in light of recent findings reported on July 23rd by Fatu Network, indicating that approximately 22.6% of the local rice samples tested in Dakar contain cancer-leak toxins. So my question will be, what immediate measures and joint cross-border inspection protocols is your ministry doing or did in cooperation with regional trade partners implementing to ensure that imported and exported grain supplies entering our domestic and local markets meet heavy-handed quality and safety standards? Thank you.
Final question. Good evening. My name is Fatumata Sajo Baro, Information Minister, Iowa SU. Honorable Minister, my question would be, what opportunities exist for students to engage directly with the ministry through events, workshops, or policy discussions?
Okay, thank you so much. I think I have my permanent secretary to support. In terms of job creation, I don't know whether Faba is around. Faba? Oh, Nyalo is also here. Nyalo, you may have to assist in responding to this particular question in terms of job creation, employment opportunities.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Of course, this issue of the creation of employment, as Labour Department, we have a unit called the Public Employment Service Unit. This is one of the responsibility is to help create employment in this country. This Public Employment Unit, we have job centers across the country. We have it in KMC, we have it in Basse, we have it in Farafenye, and we also have in Brikama. All these job centers are all just towards creating employment in this country. We do activities like we do training of job seekers, training how they do their CVs, and also how to apply employment, and also to sensitize the job seekers, the labor market available, because we have to tell them what are available in the labor market. Doing that, we do what we call the career counseling. The job center do this career counseling, train them, and also provide them information in the labor market. So some of these activities that we do in order to help the youth to have employment, gainful employment in the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to add to the question relating to employment, like the minister have said, the Ministry of Trade is a private sector ministry. And the reason why private sector is very important to government, apart from the creation of wealth, but also in terms of the employment opportunity that the private sector creates. And this is why the promotion of investments by the private sector is very central in the work of the ministry. And this is towards creating employment opportunities for the population. Now, this is why GAIPA, under the investment regime, is tasked to promote private sector investment in labor-intensive sectors. And we want to thank GAIPA because we have seen increasing investments in agriculture. We are talking about commercial investments. And the beauty in this sector is we are seeing both foreign and domestic investments in the sector. So the sector is employing creating a lot of employment opportunity. Apart from that, the other key important sector for it, which is generating a lot of employment opportunity, is the industry. That's why the government is very committed in terms of promoting industrialization through the creation of the relevant infrastructure to enable the private sector invest in this area. We are also working closely with the MSMEs that you know very well, that is the backbone of the economy. People who are working to create employment for themselves is high. So that's why we also have very strong programs in terms of working with the MSMEs through their business support organizations that we work closely with, and also the programs that GAIPA has in terms of supporting business developments of the MSMEs. So all these are commitments by government to ensure that we are able to create employment opportunities for the population. Thank you.
I think we must add that the government strategy, as far as we know, is helping because there is this multiple pronged approach for job creation. That yes, migration, you will call it, or movement of labor, is a universal phenomenon. And it will be foolhardy for us to sit here and say, or ask everybody to stay. But while government is doing its best to making sure that we create jobs at home, those who want to go also have to do it in the right way. Yes, it's important to go, but we have to do it the safe way. I don't think, one thing we will all agree is that it doesn't worth a life, really, to travel to Europe or elsewhere. If we must go, prepare ourselves, prepare our skills, and make sure that when we go, we also pick the decent jobs. So the job starts here, while we are kids, while we are at schools, that we acquire the proper skills, so that when we go there, we apply our trade and earn more. But equally also important is that we must also do our best, our utmost, to grow our economy, to create the jobs that the youths want. This is significant, and that is what the kind of programs and policies that we have laid out for you this afternoon, and that is actually now paying dividend because we've said our target of 150,000 was surpassed by almost 20,000 within a period of 3 years, 1 year ahead of program. So that is significant. So that is it. Then there's also a question relating to rising cost of living. Rising cost of living, but in the context of the Gambia, let's also understand it. Yes, it's a global phenomenon, but in the last 6 months, actually, what we achieve in the Gambia is phenomenal. Instead of prices actually going down, despite all the headwinds and all the difficulties that we have, logistics challenges, and overseas price increases, in the Gambia, prices have been coming down, and we have seen that, and we can all attest to this in the last couple of months. So that is significant. What is it that we are doing in the Gambia? Who is actually a net importer, that we are able to actually bring down the prices? Thanks to government. A lot of the revenue that was supposed to go to government revenue, we have forgone it through subsidies and support. And we didn't stop there. Also, we accompany our industrialists, and we also accompany our farmers in making sure that job creation and employment is available for our youth. It's not enough, because if you imagine the number of youth that we graduate on an annual basis, it's a lot. And yes, there is also the outpost to go to Europe and elsewhere. But yes, they will go, and we are doing our utmost through the circular migration, which is a safe pathway to travel and also gain employment, but also partnership with our Asian brothers and sisters in Saudi Arabia, that we are creating this job employment opportunities also for our people. That is quite significant. So that's something that we also have to continue to push. I think I would also call on. You want to answer on question relating to the job numbers?
Thank you, Honorable. I think what I want to add on to, if you look at within the first half of the year, what we have registered for investment that range from 3 to 5 years, we are registered about $110 million, of which, if implemented, the projected jobs is going to be about 3,400 jobs. And already some of these projects are ongoing. Some have already started operational. For example, if you take the Bereto one, it's already operational, and they've already employed the targeted jobs that they stated. And this investment comes in agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, as well as ICT. So this is what I wanted to add to that. Already within this year, there is a potential of an additional 3,400 jobs from investment created by the private sector. Thank you. And these are direct jobs.
Quickly on the discovery of infected rice, somebody talked about it as reported by FATU Network, July 23rd. I think the relevant offices and the relevant agencies of government are watching and monitoring. I cannot confirm because it's coming from social media. It's not coming in the mainstream, but I believe the responsible entities and responsible agencies of government are also monitoring the development and watching very carefully. And we are also behind the scene working with our Senegalese colleagues to identify if this is true, what is the brand and the category of the rice that is affected, so that we can also continue to surveillance and monitor the entrance or the entry of this particular rice commodity into our market. Thank you.
Quickly, on this question, even though you mentioned that it's not established yet, the food safety lab, the new one at Bruce Bay, will it be of any help to detect contaminated food coming into this country, like rice?
Again, I think government vision is exactly along that direction. The reason why we established these labs was in anticipation of this kind of situation. A modern lab has been established in this country which is able to now test and also confirm or otherwise incidences of this happening. But again, like I said, it's still unconfirmed to the extent that it's still reported in the social media, not in the mainstream media, and we have not also seen evidence of it yet. But I think we are very much ready through the existence of these particular laboratories and also our surveillance mechanism through FSQA to making sure that we will detect and also provide necessary safeguards should this become a problem.
All right, good evening. My name is Adam Anjay. I'm from Niger, but a student at the University of the Gambia. My question will be like, first to be explained, that is to the Department of Labor. There is this group of people, the drivers, these taxi baggage drivers, who are attached to these businessmen in the industry, especially Gimpex area and the like. So this particular group, they are employed as drivers. But now the load that they carry, in fact, it is attached into the employment condition that if you take the job as a driver, then obviously the load also you have to offload it. Like the chicken, those who transport chicken, for example. So some of them, they said they went and complained to the labor office, and then they keep on going. Then they were told that if you cannot do the job, better leave it and then allow somebody to take it. Which I believe the ministry or the labor office should have done something better, because that should not be a condition. And for the benefit of employment creation, there could be then, okay, you can employ a driver to drive, but then also allow somebody who does not have the job to offload so that the person can benefit also. That can expand the job creation. That is my point, and I want the minister to elaborate on that issue. My question is, what is the legal tool there that protect this individual? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
acca jërëjëf maa ngi leen di nuyu ku nekk turam ak santam maam ji bi ñaari laaj la am benn bi wàllu employment dégg nañ ministre bi ñu ngi wax employment yokku na ci réew mi waaye buñ bàyyee xel ci minimum salary wage bu Gambia bi nga xam ne tey boo xoolee loi bi li fa tënku $4 lañ ne mooy wareefu xëykat bu ne ci loi yi réew mi ndax ministre bi wala nguur gi ñu ngi ciy def ay jéego ba soppeeku am ci xam nañ ne $4 daanaka li mun a am léegi ci réew mi bareetul xëj na buñ xoolee ci public sector bi bu ñuy wax increasement of salary lu ci bari ñoom mun nañ koo gis waaye mostly private sector bi dañuy xayma minimum salary wage ba ñu bari li ñuy fayeeku ci biir réew mi daanaka mënut a faj seen soxla lan la ci ministry bi di def beneen bi mooy wàllu li nga xam ne moom moo nekk price control ñu bari ci askan wi dañ koy joytu ci biti ndax dégg nañ ministry bi wala nguur gi dañ koy wax ne liberal market waaye da ngay dugg ci bitik bi léegi nga jëndee lii nga génn ci bitik bi nga jëndee lu nga xam ne daanaka xayma bi dafay ëpp lu jéggi dayoo ndax loolu tamit nguur gi wala ministry bi dinañ ci indi jéego yu nga xam ne because askan wi dañ koy joytu always and all the time ne niñ gisee price ni muy demee ci biir réew mi dafa jéggi lan la ci ministry bi di def jërë ngeen jëf.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mustafa Ijeng, Deputy Sport Minister of Iowa. So my question is, Honorable Minister, what is your ministry doing in order to increase the exportation of Gambian-made products?
Adam Manjai talked about issue of taxi drivers being asked to do multitasking. I think to the extent that it's a labor contract, there must be some understanding reached between the two parties. And I know this is in the informal sector and usually perhaps is not supported by a contract, a formal contract. But I'm sure they must have discussed and agree and come to terms somehow. Multitasking is increasingly being encouraged in the labor industry and in the labor market. And that's why people are now being encouraged to be polyvalent, not to only tie yourself to a single trade. But I think between a labor contract is contracted within the framework of an agreement. If the two parties agree beforehand on job responsibility and a corresponding wage or pay, then it should be judged along that limit. But it is completely wrong to assign somebody a responsibility that was not priorly agreed or for which no compensation have been discussed and agreed beforehand. But luckily, we have also my brother here, Babukar Boy, who is very much of a with respect to employment and labor matters. But also Nyalo Baro is also here, who may also want to shed light in terms of multitasking and multi responsibilities that are given and do happen from time to time. Mam Jibi momuge wax mbiri that ne yes am nañ fi minimum salary or minimum wage in this country, and in his judgment dafa tuuti munta is below the living wage, what is required for a living wage. Again, then he suggested ndax mënuñoo am price control rather than the liberal market or free market that currently we now have. Again, luckily, tey moom dama jox responsibility suma mag mu ngi fi Babukar. He can set light with respect to the minimum wage And but the minimum wage, as we understand it, is that it started in the public sector. And the idea is that the private sector would then benchmark. But we don't have it as a legal responsibility to impose it to them at this stage, but we want them to follow. Government set the standards, and we want the private sector to follow. But to his point, even what government have determined today is also not sufficient for a decent living. Basically, that is his judgment. And then the worrying part is that he then suggested a price control as a response. I think I would disagree. As far as we are concerned, there shouldn't be a price control. What we are saying is market control. Let's go to the market and regulate it, but not the price. But if the market is regulated in a way and manner that there is competition, there is no collusion, the safeguards are there, the mechanism of measurements and all of those things are there, then there's price control, comme nous ko waxee, pour ñu control price, ñun nekkuñ di encourage loolu. Ñun lu ñu encourage mooy ne market bi dafa war a free, nga xam ne jongante am na si marché bi, lépp loo xam ne ñu ngi ko faa jaay xayma nañ ko, jaar na si yoon, bari na, ba pare waxtaan bi juboo si ñoomi nee ni ay traders amut. Dinañ mun na def loolu na introduce competition boo xam ne price bi du jar nga koy control. Price control gisoon nañ ko fi ak gisoon nañ fi yàqu-yàqu bu mu am in the 80s. Te fooguma ne is in anybody's interest ñu war a introduce at price control. Na marché bi dox, njëg gi ñu compete, ñu war a saytu biir marché bi ñu mel Gambia Competition and Consumer Protection. Jongante am na, quality am na, yooyu noonu yëpp loo xam ne daal la am nañu koo saytu, waaye price control moom at this stage moom ñun xelaatuñ ko, parce que gis nañ tamit bu mu fi amee yàqu-yàqu bu mu am fii nii. Babakar, if you want to help. Okay, then if that is the case, then that's fine then. Mustafa talks about Mustafa Jeng, so I want to repeat the question B.
Yes. My question was, what is your ministry doing in order to increase the exploitation of Gambian-made products?
Made in the Gambia export. Well, in my statement, I have just indicated a strategy and how we are working with first trying to attract foreign investment to make sure that at least we begin to produce in the Gambia, but also support Gambian indigenous businesses and industrialists to install in the Gambia and then produce in the Gambia. And we also would want to structure our trading policies in a way and manner that is quite competitive and makes sense to locate in the Gambia and conduct your business and mount your factories than elsewhere, because like I said, to the fact that we have this Africa free continental trade area, choice of location would be determined by how competitive and how cost of business or operating a business is also managed. So the market dafa nekk benn. So the choice dafa nekk léegi nii, how much does it cost me to locate in the Gambia or elsewhere? And then what kind of support laa mun a am si government bi in making a determination to locate in the Gambia or elsewhere, because benn marché la. So loolu la doon explain in our opening.
Thank you. Next set of questions, if you have any. One over there.
Yeah. Good evening. I am Awasane from Teladal TV, and my question is, traders often complain of the increase of CFA. I want to CFA, yeah. So I want to know, what is the Ministry of Trade doing in order to regulate the CFA exchange rate?
I think that question is for the central bank. It's a monetary policy issue. I don't think it's a trade issue. If I'm correct, Honorable Minister. Is that question for you for central bank about the CFA?
CFA is a currency issue, and central bank, as we know, continue to say, in the Gambia, the dollar is the legal tender. But it doesn't mean other currency cannot trade in the Gambia. Is it trading? Yes. So because he's saying the CFA is increasing phenomenally, and there is a cause for that, and there are reasons for that. I don't think we have the time to delve into that. But that, I just want to emphasize, Fisi Gambia, dollar is more illegal tender. And that's the one that the central bank recognized. That minune CFA, wala dollar, wala pounds, duñ ko fi jaay. Waaye nu fi mëna nekké moy né da nga dem pour wéccu ko ñëw ci biir marché bi nga jëndé nga transact in dollars. That is the norm. But to the extent that I don't think all other currencies don't trade in the market except CFA. But like I said, that's a central bank issue, and the central bank position is very clear.
So, I am a recent master's student graduate in international trade. So I have a question regarding investment and industrialization. So my question to the ministry is, what sectors does the ministry currently consider the highest priority for attracting foreign direct investment, and what incentives are there available for these investors? And the next question that I will kindly ask is, what are the biggest obstacles that is currently preventing the Gambia from achieving a higher export and a high export growth, and how is the ministry addressing this issue? Thank you.
Okay. Luckily though, Mangfe am Naxuma Director of Industry. Mom su buggee mun na moo ñëw waaye question bi lu mu wane rek mooy ne sector priority for investment. Sector priority for investment, am na video bu ñu fi wane woon sànq si gannaaw nii. From 2027 going forward will remain our sector priorities, and also those that will invest in those areas will also be accompanied with incentive to support their businesses and to also support their investment in this country. More these SEZ, and we have identified number of investment opportunities and encourages both foreign as well as local investors pour ñu dem foofu noonu. And when they do, like I said, we will be providing them with SIZ incentive and all the supports that the ministry have, and making sure that their businesses prosper and become competitive also in the region. Now, with respect to, you said higher export growth. Higher export growth vis-a-vis what? The obstacle for growth.
Yeah,
can you explain?
The obstacles that are currently preventing the Gambia from achieving a high export growth.
Well, again, that is multifaceted because for us to export, in the first instance, we have to produce enough for the domestic market and so also available to export. And that means the domestic aspect and incentive we can control and we can provide, supporting businesses and industries that will produce and export. But you also have to understand that you are exporting to an external market who also have sets of rules and regulations. And that's why, like I said, for example, I just mentioned about China. they have relaxed some of the controls that they have, and now they are allowing Gambian goods to be exported to China. That's a specific market. So also in America, through through AGUA, they have been providing privileges to countries like the Gambia to reach the American market. But even at that, the regulatory compliance becomes so onerous that it's so expensive that really an average Gambian producer or industrialist will not be able to export to the market. Those are realities. Those are market control outside our own control. But what we do in that instance is therefore, we will then come up with support mechanism to at least lift some of the burden from the exporters, but also maybe through so many number of measures that are available in our toolkits to making sure that we make the export as easy as possible and as much rewarding as possible. So it's a combination of consideration. But my primary responsibility is that instead of importing, bringing, let's produce here. And let's also produce enough that we will use and also supply to our immediate neighbors. That is regional trade. Beyond that, then we can talk about regional market and international market with all the difficulties that we face there. Anything the government could do to subsidize, we will do. Anything the government could do to accompany those investors, we will do. Like a tax incentive or anything else. But it's not a very straightforward and simple mechanism. It's a combination of a lot of things that have to be considered in making sure that we support our businesses and our industrialists in growing for our market, but also competing in the region and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. I think that was the last question. Today Haruna is happy because he wants to go home to his wife in Sukuta. And we are finishing early today. Thank you very much. You have a question? Quickly, please.
I would like to go in the local language for our viewers out there. Assalamu alaikum, maa ngi nuyu honorable minister ak teamam bi nga xam ne ñoo fi nekk ak nguur gi nga xam ne ñoo ñëw tey uyu si ministre bi nga xam ne ñooy information pour leeral askan bi liñ war a xam si ministre bi. Man suma laajte bi nag li fi muy jëm rek mooy si béykat yi parce que soo leen suñuy wax jaay ak jënda béykat yi am nañ si njëriñ bu baax a baax te ñi nga xam ne ñooy saytu li nga xam ne mooy waali food processing bi si béykat yi lañ dee dem naka ngeen mun a def ba nga xam ne di ngeen mun a dimbale béykat yi ba nga xam ne ñi nga xam ne ñooy ñëw jënd ci ñoom ñoo dee gën a am bénéfice dan ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoo dee sonna di béy ba pare am jaar-jaar yu bari so seen ministre bi lan lañ mun a def xam naa ne nag dafa nekk jokkale ak Ministry of Agriculture waaye ba tey soo ko seetloo yéen tamit am ngeen wàll si ñoom lan ngeen mun a def ba ngeen xam ne di ngeen leen mun a dimbale asalaamaaleykum.
jërëjëf ministre bëgg naa tamit nga fàttali ñi gis nañ May force bi passé Gambia Labour Federation ci turu liggéeykat yi am na ay bataaxal yuñ tegoon ci loxo ministre bi ngir càkkuteef ci liggéeykat yi ci biir réew mi lan ngañ ci mën a fàttalil beneen bi mooy buñ ne Ministry of Trade Regional Integration tey Gambia dañ bokk ECOWAS nekk member state waaye dañ xool ci biir réew mi lu ci bëri ci ñiy yëngatu ci wàllu njula pour ñiy jëli dara ci biti di ko dugal ci réew mi dañ ci am ay jafe-jafe pour ñiy génnee tamit seen ay yëf ci biir réew mi dañ ci am ay jafe-jafe loolu lan la ci ministre bi di jël ay jéego segam bokk nañ ci ECOWAS te ECOWAS am na luñ nangutoo ci loolu.
Thank you. So I'm going to respond in relation to the work that the ministry is doing with the farmers, particularly those that are in commercial farming, and also our farmers that produce in large quantity to sell. Now, at the level of the ministry, we work closely with the Ministry of Agriculture. And through the Ministry of Agriculture, they have the regional marketing federations throughout the country in each region. And they also have an apex body. So every season, particularly those products that we are promoting on a commercial scale. No, Minister will come and say it. No. Okay, so we import some products that we are promoting, especially those that we are consuming a lot, and we are also importing a lot. For example, onions, we use a lot of onion, and we are importing a lot, and we can produce it domestically. The same thing for potatoes and other agricultural produce. So what we are doing, the government has come up with measures to ensure that during these seasons, we limit the importation. And to ensure that farmers are able to get better prices, we do invite the marketing federation, the regional marketing federation. They have a tete-a-tete discussion with the importers at the level of the ministry so that we coordinate that process to ensure that the price that is determined is not a given price for the farmers. It's something that they negotiate with the buyers, with the importers that are buying from them to sell. So that we have that mechanism that we work closely with the marketing federations. We also support in terms of capacity building of the association to ensure that going forward they are able to get capacity, to buy from their local farmers and then sell to some of the importers that that want to buy from them. So that has also helped in terms of ensuring that where the marketing federations involved in getting the products from the farmers and then selling it to the importers, they are able to negotiate to get better price done. But we still have a challenges where buyers, you cannot prevent that also, go directly to the farmers and then buy direct, negotiate with them, and then buy directly. So what we are doing with the Ministry of Agriculture is to strengthen their regional marketing federations so that they can negotiate on the behalf of the farmers in sales of their product. Thank you.
Yes, quickly, foog na ndaw si lum laajte lu am solo la mu ne mbéy nu méttee lu tax traders yi mooy njulakat yi ak especially maybe cooperative ak ñuy jaay si marché bi si seetlum ñoo gën a njëriñ ñoom la gën a njëriñ daan actually baykat bi. To some extent that is true parce que gis nañ ne béykat bi waxtoom ak lu moo fere yëpp lu moo amam soo ko compare ñu nga xam ne ñoom ñoo koy jël di ko trade fii si biir réew mi ak si biti dëgg jéggi na outil bi jéggi na dayo especially boo mu nee dem sax yow ba add value yóbbu si biti soo ko indiwaatee fii moom béykat bi lu mu la ko jaayoon dafa jéggi jaw dayo waaye that's the nature of commerce nag defaraat ko as an industrial product so da ngaa gi chain boobu noonu yëpp from the farmers to the trader to the industrialist from the industry si budget bi moo ëpp fuuf ñun lu ñoo am as a Ministry of Trade and Industry pour jàppale ñu nga xam ne ñoom ñooy industrie ak ñuy def commerce xaalis bu ñu am xaalis bu ñoo jagleel si mbiri pharmacie pour dimbale leen pour ñu mun a béy di moo ngay benefit soo ko jëlee si pharmacie daal force waaye moo tax government nag buy support moom dafa dem gis pharmacie seet nu mu leen mun a jàppalee loolu moo indi that deliberate policy ñaan behalf of government waaye da ngaa gis ne bataaxel boobu tamit bu ñu ko jotee di laajte ndimbali mu am tamit warugar sport associations ak lu nga ko even reward parce que mu ngi bàyyi soxlaam loolu yëpp nuñ ko yëpp ne ñun lii la ñuy laaj te kuñ koy laaj mooy government nag mun naa faciliter am na yoo xam ne pour moom la moom wala workers si dëkk bi because workers yëpp nekkuñ sax workers si government am na ñoo xam ne private sector la ñoo liggéeyal so whether or not tamit ñu ngi koy laaj ndax tamit am nañ mun nañ ko am nañ ko ndax luñ ba ndax mu definitely dañ ko munut yooyu yëpp. The nature of business mooy na rek ne the commercial segment and the industrial segment moo gën a profitable than actually the farming. Farmer support, especially for onion, potatoes, and monitorium. am na yenn jéego yu dee def tamit as government mooy for example for farmer support mooy isil leen maybe fertilizer.
am Gambia ma loo wax ma dem si ki mu jaay ko 5 dem si ki 10 dama delluwaat si ko jaay ma dina ko si ko jaay jëndee jaayee 5 ba ko jaayee 10 xaw ma ndax moot am ngeen fu ma ko mën a boole ah noonu ndax mun naa koo boole parce que su fekkee ne ñëpp si market bi ñu ngi koo jaayee 5 mooy normal price bi ki ko jaayee 10 kooku sàcca la fan laa ko mën a boole si ministry bi war nga ñëw leeral loolu noonu et pare ngeen ñëw leer na tamit si cost of living tey Gambia ñu luñ dee def si subsidy pour mitigate impact benn dëkk defu ko si essence boo jënd litre boo jënd government am la lu mu se di tegal pour nga fay les soo jëndee cash power government am la lu mu tegal pour nga fay les béykat yi seen engrais seen njiw yëpp ñu ko subsidize maalo soo ko essayé doo fay dara bi yëpp subsidy moo tax tey Africa West Africa fii yëpp Gambia ko gën a cheap le food basket foog ma ne am because of all the subsidies the cost of living tey da nga ko importer inflation waa di la gërëm tamit labor force employment because 2021 president launched the labor policy and the commitment was 150,000 jobs la ñoo create nañ 107,000 it means that 20,000 jobs lañ create more than the commitment in the labor force tàccu leen ko waaye loolu yëpp ay jéego yoo xam ne la liggéey bu rafet la boo xam ne dañ ko war a wax parce que liggéey boo xam ne la président Barrow si leadership am ak góorgóorlu ministre yi li yëpp ñu ngi ko achieve si dëkk bi nii kon ministre ñu ngi laa gërëm si liggéey bu rafet bi di gërëm sa team bi yëpp di leen jaajëfal bu baax a baax a baax a baax di wax ne tamit am nañ fi beneen gan bi nga xam ne bu mu ñëwee yàgg na tuuti waaye bu ma doon introduce fekk ñëwutoon mooy anti ami Bojang moom mooy director of press office of the president moom tam mu ngi fi ak ñeneen kilifa ñi nga xam ne ñoo fi teew tey baax a baax di leen nuyu di leen wax ne jërëjëf di jaajëfal media bi ak suñ partners yi fu mu toll nii almost 7 to 8 media ñoo nekk di génnee li ko simulcast di ko génnee live noo leen fi toogee nit ñu ngi la na seetaan ak partners ñi fi nekk ak suñ partners yi Asada Motors Q Group ak Bell Water Bottling ak ñi nga xam ne ñooy technicians yëpp di leen gërëm di wax ne honorable minister once kontaan nañ trop di la sant bu baax a baax suñ ministre bi ñoom Hadi suñ DPS yi ñoom ñëpp jàpp nañ si liggéey balaa ñoo ñëw fii tey jaatees tamit def nañ liggéey bu rafet ñoo de lead production bi ñu leen a gërëm si njiitali Abdoulaye Sy di gërëm ñëpp nag di wax ne tey Mansa Kunda of Minister of Trade jeex na xam naa next week dinañ am beneen Mansa Kunda waaye balaa moo jot dinañ jéemaane wax leen kan mooy ñëw jërëjëf.
Starts with us. Visit us at GNPC Petrol Station, Fajara, or contact us at 200-0004 or 782-838-55. Asada Motors. Experience the excellence.
In today's world, speed matters.